What's up everybody, welcome to another episode of Anime World, where we talk about the latest news surrounding different anime and manga franchises. It's October, so that means it's officially spooky season. With Halloween just right around the corner, what better way to celebrate than by watching horror movies, or in my case, horror animes. I am the biggest baby on the planet and I absolutely do not like horror movies, but I managed to sit through and watch some horror and thriller animes. This video will talk about my favorite ones and the ones that freaked me out the most. If none of these interest you, stay tuned to the end and I'll provide you some other suggestions that you may watch. Let's get started. This is Top Horror and Thriller Animes for Spooky Season. Number 5, Danganronpa the Animation. A coworker of mine bugged me about watching the show, so I finally caved in and started it. And let me tell you, the concept of this show is so messed up, but at the same time, it had me hooked. Naoki Makoto is one of the 15 lucky students who get sent to the prestigious Hope Peak Academy. This school only accepts the best who have unique titles to reflect their skills. Well, that first day of school excitement was short-lived when Naoki and his classmates are confronted by the school's principal, Monokuma, who traps them inside the school. The only way to escape? Kill one of your classmates without getting caught. However, every time a murder is committed, the class will hold a trial. If the killer is caught, he or she will be executed, and the remaining survivors will be left to continue the death match until only a single victor remains. This isn't necessarily the scariest show, however, I think the psychological and thriller aspect of it makes it a great watch for Halloween season. Number 4, Future Diary. This anime is more thriller and gore than horror, but it still manages to make me squeamish. In this anime, the god of space and time is looking for someone else to replace him. He holds a competition where the last person standing at the battle royale becomes the new god. To aid them, each person is given a special future diary that possesses unique abilities. Lonely high school student and protagonist Yukiteru Amano ends up being one of these competitors in the game of survival. He reluctantly teams up with his obsessive stalker, Yuno Gasai, who also possesses a future diary, and takes it upon herself to ensure Yukiteru's safety. Together, the two must figure out a way to kill the other 11 competitors. However, there's more to the girl than meets the eye, and she might have other plans for her unrequited love. Number 3, Parasite. I'm gonna be completely honest, I don't know if I'll ever be able to finish this show. I feel like this is the kind of stuff I'd see in my nightmares. Basically, in Parasite, parasitic aliens descended upon Earth and quickly infiltrated humanity by burrowing into the brains of vulnerable targets. These beings acquire full control of their hosts and are able to morph into a variety of forms in order to feed on unsuspecting prey. I think one of the most disturbing parts about this show is how these parasites morph the body. I just get squeamish looking at it, and I thought the Titans from Attack on Titan were bad. 16-year-old high school student Shinichi Izumi falls victim to one of these parasites, but it fails to take over his brain, ending up in his right hand instead. Unable to relocate, the parasite now named Migi has no choice but to rely on Shinichi in order to survive. Thus, the pair is forced into an uneasy coexistence and must defend themselves from hostile parasites that hope to eradicate this new threat to their species. I don't know about you, but I'd probably try to cut my hand off in desperation. Number 2, The Promised Neverland. Surrounded by a forest and a gated entrance, the Gracefield house is inhabited by orphans, happily living together as one big family, looked after by their mama, Isabella. Although they're required to take tests daily, the children are free to spend their time as they see fit, usually playing outside, as long as they do not venture too far from the orphanage, a rule they are expected to follow no matter what. However, all good times must come to an end, as every few months, a child is adopted and sent to live with their new family. Sounds great, right? Well, once a child is adopted, they're never heard from again. The oldest 3 children, Emma, Norman, and Ray, suspect something is wrong about their so-called home. After some digging around, they realize Gracefield House is not what it really says it is, and they must do whatever it takes to save their family. This show isn't really violent or graphic like the previous shows, but the intense atmosphere and suspense make it a great watch for spooky season. Number 1, Tokyo Ghoul. This is personally my favorite on the list. Tokyo has become a cruel and merciless city, a place where vicious creatures called ghouls exist alongside humans. The citizens of this once great metropolis live in constant fear of these bloodthirsty savages and their thirst for human flesh. But the greatest threat these ghouls pose is their dangerous ability to masquerade as humans and blend in with society. College student Ken Kaneki tries to go about his life as normal as possible despite the threat of these terrifying creatures. However, a date with a seemingly nice girl ends up changing his life forever. For better or for worse, watch the show to find out. There are several more horror shows out there, and if these aren't enough to get you in the Halloween mood, check out the following shows: Another, Devilman Crybaby, Hellsing, Elfen Lied, and Deadman Wonderland. Note, I haven't watched any of these shows personally, but I've heard good things about them. If you give any of them a watch, drop a comment below and let me know which one you like the most. And stay tuned for more.